Welcome back, everyone, to the What Worked For Me podcast. Today we have Caesar, who is the self-proclaimed marathon mortgage man. He's lost about 140 pounds during his transformation. We're going to talk all about it. Caesar, thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to introduce yourself with before we get started?
No, thank you. No, that's good.
Awesome. So I know you've done a bunch of great things. You've ran a bunch of marathons. I can't wait to talk to you about that. But I always like to start at the very beginning. So how did you find yourself at, 340 pounds, and what did it take to even get up to there?
Wow. I was heavy most of my life, and I failed multiple times trying to lose weight, right? Um, and just, back on October 23rd, 2017, that's when I started my journey, you know. So, but I guess failing multiple times prior was a good thing, right? Because this time it worked, and 7+ years later, I'm still going and running marathons. That was the aftermath later. First I started losing weight was basically watching what I eat and walking every day on a treadmill.
So that's where it started. What was the thing that got you to realize like you needed to make a change?
What really woke me up this time versus the other times when I hired coaches, when I hired trainers, when I hired a bunch of people, and I thought about it after a while. Most of these people who I hired prior, they were never, ever, ever overweight. They were always skinny fit their whole life. Which could be a good thing or bad thing. I'm not sure. So I don't think that we always connected thinking, knowing that, okay, you don't know what I'm really, when you're overweight, I consider that's, it's obese, right? When you're overweight, right? It's like a drug problem. When you stop doing drugs, you always consider being a drug addict or alcoholic. You stop doing alcohol, you always consider an alcoholic, right? So that's how I look at myself. Even though I lost the weight, I'm still considered obese. I'm still big, okay? Because it's always in that little fact in the back of your head. But what really, really turned me on this time around versus in the past was I wrote everything down the day before I started my journey. I wrote down all the foods what I ate 7 days prior, everything. And believe it or not, when I was writing by myself in the kitchen table, writing everything down, I almost cheated myself, meaning no one's around me looking. And I'm like, should I really put those calories? And I'm like, wait, did I eat that? It took me a while to put down. It's very hard to do because it took me hours and hours and hours to put everything down. Believe it or not, 7 days, I really had to go back. I even went back to my credit card statement to see what I ate that day. I didn't remember. Okay. So I put everything down. I put all the calories and I Googled my age. I Googled, the height, where I should eat. And then I said, okay, let me start that a little bit. And then I started walking on the treadmill every day. And
And how
that what
much
really scared me.
do you remember how much the calories were that you wrote down in that day? How much
Oh,
you think?
yes, I do. Yes, I
I'd
do.
love to know
There,
that.
there would be days I was eating 6,000 calories. There'd be days I was eating 3,000 calories. There'd be days I was eating 2,800 calories.
Yeah.
Um, it's crazy what you could eat in a day because I didn't know at the time. I wasn't educated. When I looked at it, if you eat 3,000 pounds or more, it's considered gaining 1 pound. Okay. So I could gain 10 pounds or 8 pounds, no problem that week. I'm drinking a lot of soda, a lot of big heroes, big breakfast, big lunch, big dinner, big snacks. I was a soda guy, hero guy, love pizza.
Yeah.
I had a lot of drawbacks.
So you immediately kind of started with just the calorie in, calorie out method, and you decided to go to walking. What led you to walking? Why was that your first choice that way?
Because I tried, believe it or not, did try to run. I couldn't run.
Okay.
Okay, couldn't even run nothing. I was like, oh my God, this like I was bad. I was really bad out of shape. Um, then when I went on the treadmill in the gym in my clubhouse, working out in the gym every day, and I saw this. What boosted me? I saw this guy next to me. He was like probably like 70 years old. I'm bad in ages. Don't get me wrong. Definitely older, and he was fit, and he was keeping on going. I didn't talk to him. Didn't say nothing. I just like looked at it, and I said, you know what? That guy's like in his 70-year-old something, and I'm 43 years old. You know what? I'm gonna run one day. In my mind, I'm gonna run, but first I'm gonna walk. So I did the walk method every day, an hour a day. Then I did the walk, run, walk, run, walk, run. And believe me, I did this all by myself, no coach. I did everything all by myself. Why this lasted? Because I was scared. When I wrote down those calories, and believe me, I told other people to do it. I'm not no coach. Okay. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a professional. But when I help, just from my experience helping people, and I said, "You sure you wrote this is the real calories?" Because I don't think so.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, maybe you're right." It's amazing how much doubt you have, or the positive and the negative, and how people just down themselves. And I was them. I was them.
Right.
You know.
So you talk about you write down these calories and you laid out a few things that you said you were really into soda and some of these higher calorie foods. Did you eliminate those? Did you just reduce them? What did that look like?
So what I did on the first month, I stopped the soda cold turkey. No soda, only water, club soda. Okay, no soda at all. Okay, then I definitely no more hero sandwiches. Okay,
Yeah.
in Florida they call it subs, but I'm from Long Island, New York, so I still call it heroes. But I cut all that down. I didn't cut all my carbs because I failed many times in prior cutting carbs, just salads and that, and just portion control. Don't eat carbs really, and I gained it all back even worse. Okay, your body needs carbs. Okay, so when I did this, your body needs carbs. Okay, I just cut the bad carbs, the bad sugar, basically. I just Googled some stuff. I just did my own little thing together. And, whatever people taught me in the past, every time I failed in the past. But the most important thing in my journey, every night before I go to bed, you got to think positive. And you got to look at your schedule the next day, what you're going to eat or you're going to work out, where you're going to go, what time, what's your schedule. Do I have to take my kids at 7:40 in the morning, 7 o'clock? Do I have to go work out 6 o'clock? I want to work an hour. Do I have to wake up 5 o'clock today? Do I have to wake up 4 in the morning the next day? So the time could change every day. And everyone had excuses. Oh, I have to take my kids 7 o'clock. Oh, I have to take, I'm not going to have time. BS. There's time. There's time in the day. There's 24 hours a day. You can sleep 7 hours a day. There is time. And I used to have those excuses. I used to be one of them.
Yeah. So, and we'll talk a little bit about kind of timing and strategy and those type of things. So we're still kind of in the beginning. You said that for the first month you just started running, walking. How quickly, and kind of cut out soda and the higher glycemic carbohydrates, how quickly did the weight start to come off?
I just saw my Facebook memory today. And I think it was, I could pull up in a little bit. I think it said I lost 55 pounds. So when I started October 23rd, 2017, the weight was coming out pretty quickly because I was walking about an hour a day and I was only eating about 2,000 calories a day at
Right.
the time.
So was it that 55 pounds in a month or 55 pounds in a couple months? How?
No, no, that's if I saw the Facebook today memory, so that would have been 3 months almost.
3 months.
December. Yeah, three
Okay.
months.
So you lose that first 55 pounds. At that point, can you start running or are you still just walking?
I was doing the walk run method a lot, and I was doing the treadmill with the incline.
Okay.
Walking every day. Incline is so important. I didn't know it was good for you back then. I didn't know it was burns fat like that. I just
Yeah,
did the
definitely.
incline because I wanted up because when you walk on a treadmill an hour and a half a day, because it depends on your day, right?
Yep.
You get bored. So let me try to challenge yourself. Let me do 15% incline or 20% incline. So that's what I was doing.
That makes sense. So how long did it take you to lose the full 140 pounds?
It took me about a year and 1 year I did over 100 pounds. Like I think it was like 105, 110. And then it probably took me like 16 months for the 140, like the total,
Okay.
you know.
During
Yeah.
that time, did you hit any like plateaus or times where
Oh
you,
yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Plenty, plenty. I had 3 or 4 down the
So
line.
let's start talking about those. The first time you hit one, what did that feel like?
Um, Patience. That's how I'm trying to control my mind. It's gonna happen. Just keep on continuing what I was doing. Then I said, Saturday and Sunday, did you know what? I was Googling, runners or what they do. They run longer weekends. So what? Let me walk longer. So I do an hour a day from Monday to Friday. Let me walk an hour and 40 minutes Saturday. And I increased my time walking wise, you know.
Okay.
And I ate a little more because when you work out more, you do eat more. Okay. Now that's when the plateau, but I control my mind, meaning one thing I didn't realize that when you're hungry, right? We eat, right?
Yeah.
Common sense. But your body, you need to know your brain is when you're hungry, it's not telling you hungry all the time. It's you're thirsty. you need to drink water. And
And that
I,
was one of the things that helped you get through those plateaus was you just started
yes,
drinking more water.
yes, I drank at least 8 bottles of water, maybe 10 a day,
That
you
makes
know.
sense. Especially with how much exercise and cardio you were doing, I'm sure hydration became really important.
It's so important. It's so important.
You did bring up something interesting that I think could be something that people get stuck in. When you start to exercise more, you naturally want to eat more, right?
Hmm.
That can be a thing. So, how did you balance that where you would increase exercise, but then not let yourself just compensate by eating more and still lose weight?
So what I did was what I do to this day is every meal that I eat, I drink a bottle of water before the meal and after the meal. Okay, to get my 2 bottles. If I eat 5 times a day, three meals plus 2 snacks, I'll have those waters in intake all the time. So that's how, and you get full faster.
Okay.
Okay, and that you definitely get full faster. Um, you, I did cut the appetizers. I was a big appetizer guy. I had to get the appetizers, then you get the bread, right? Then you get the meal, then you share dessert with your spouse, or you have your dessert by yourself, right? So I try to cut those portion controls to the T, or sometimes I share with the wife, or I take the appetizer out. If it's a healthy appetizer, I'll order something, depends on the place where I go.
Yeah. So just sounds like you did a couple things. You got to game volumetrics a little bit by keeping your stomach really full with the water, and then just slowly adjusted things as you go. So
Yes.
you brought up your family. How did losing 140 pounds affect your personal life?
Wow. At the time, I didn't realize in so many levels, so many levels. Um, I stopped drinking, not stopped drinking, but like alcohol, I did cut down a lot of it. Back then when I was overweight, drank, I cut that. But and work wise, I had the best year in my and work wise this past year in my 27-year career. I could focus better. I'm up earlier. Get my workout done, and I come to the office early, get my things going. I'm more calm, believe it or not. I'm not like, you know, you know, before when you're big and overweight, you could be moody. I think you really could. I think that you get a little angry. It's just the sugar in you, the
Yeah.
hyper. The sugar. It's. I'm a firm believer in that. So I mean that in work wise, my health wise, um, and what's more scariest, the most scariest part when I was 340 pounds, I didn't think it was that big. You know when I realized when I was big? When I lost the weight and I saw the pants. And I had pictures before and after pants. It was huge. Okay, I think it was like a size on a suit was like a size 52, I think it was, a 48. I had a
Yeah.
couple of those. That's when you're like, holy cow. That's when I realized, wow. And I donated all my clothes out, everything, my shoes. I even had to downsize my ring 2 times. Okay, wedding ring. Okay, I had to downsize my watches a couple times. Okay, my shoes, all gone. I used to be a 13, size 13, no more. I'm a size 12 now. Believe it or
That's
not, because
crazy.
my foot was wide. So I had to redo everything. I donated everything to a church. So,
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like you had benefits across the board. You brought up something that I thought was interesting. You brought up how when you were bigger, you just felt less emotionally stable. I know a lot of times people have some type of emotional tie to food. Did you find yourself in that problem, like stress eating or dealing with anything like that?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, to this day, when you're stressed, my stress level's way down than before. But it's eating is a disease. It's worse than drugs. It's worse than alcohol. Why? Because food you have to live on. Drugs and alcohol you don't. Okay, you can stop and go. But food is a slow disease. Food kills you. Okay, but you got to know how to control it. Okay, when people always told me when I was big, I remember my son told me, "Oh, Dad, when they were playing baseball, my friends are making fun of you because you were big." Little things like that. Okay, or people just make jokes. Okay, all the time, and I knew it was big. I
Right.
had to take a couple more showers a day because I didn't want to smell. It's toxic. You
Yeah.
know, and I didn't realize it at the time. And the reason and which this is crazy. And we all brush our teeth every morning, right? We
Yeah.
brush our teeth because we don't want why bad breath. or you don't want to go to the dentist because you don't want that cavity, right?
Right.
It's just a mental thing. Why? It's a habit. Okay. You do it, the more you consistent doing it, and every day it's become a habit. Okay. That's how I control my health. When I wake up in the morning, I want my heart, the most important part, to be okay. Because I had a lot of people who were 40-year-olds, friends of mine, heart attacks, or even passed away, or even 50
Right.
because they ate bad, the alcohol sometimes just gets you. When it gets you, it gets you. Okay. Everyone has the time up. You know, you could be the healthiest person in the world and get into car accidents. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the slow death, killing you every day, you
When
know?
you're shaving the time off yourself. So you brought
So
up
why
habits.
not do that? Why not do good food to be good inside
Right.
versus brushing your teeth? It's the same thing.
Yep.
Same thing.
And you brought up habits, and I think habits can be extremely important. What do you think were your key habits that you formed that helped you lose the weight and also keep it off?
Okay. So keeping it off is the easy part. Everyone else will tell you is the hard part. Why? Because they're doing it wrong.
Okay, let's talk about this. I'm excited.
Okay.
What
They're
was your
doing it
secret?
wrong.
What made it
So
easy for you to keep it off?
to to start is hard. They say there's so many myths or things. I don't know what's true or not true. Okay. They say there's a 21 rule day, there's a habit, right? I don't believe
Right,
that. I
there's
think it's much longer than that. Okay.
right.
So you got to change your present pattern. You have to learn to love your present pattern. Change it up a little bit. Okay. All right. It's just the mind is so powerful. It's so powerful. And whenever the demons come in your head, and it's true, the demons come in my head sometimes, but you got to fight it. Just like when I run marathons, 26 miles, mile 18, 20 is telling me I can't. All my legs are tired. And the more I thought about it, oh my God, I'm not going to make it.
Right.
That's when I know you got to change that and go. Okay. So I think a little positive. It's just that positive flow and that pattern. And the more you do it, the first week is tough. Once you get to 21 days, it's tough. It gets a little better. Once you're 2 months into it, 3 months into it, 6 months into it, it gets a little better and a little better. And then once you hit that 1 year goal or your weight goal, okay, and before that, you got to make sure realistic. I did all this natural. Today, I've been on over 7 years now, seven years and a few months. There's Ozempic, there's Terrason shots, there's this, there's that. There's so much stuff you can put in your body to lose weight. That's the easy way out. Okay. And guarantee that stuff is not good for you because in the future, later on, something's gonna happen. Okay. I just did it all natural. I control my mind every day. I even wrote down stuff.
So
I
so
wrote
the main habit that you really instilled was more of a mental one then, was controlling your mind. That was like the main habit that you
I learned how to be positive, 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 positive every day. Even I train people right now for marathons. Sometimes they're a little negative
right.
or they're doubtful. They think I can do. I said that's very common. When you first do the first marathon, you don't know if you're going to do it or not. I said, but now I got a Miami Marathon for next weekend.
Oh,
Okay,
awesome. Good luck.
thank you, thank you. And I had the best training the past 20-week training because it was my 50th birthday in October. I went away in November on a cruise. I went to New York with family, the holidays. I had every excuse possible. But guess what? I still ran the 40 miles a week, 35 miles a week
Right.
because my body's used to go. I have to have discipline. Okay. So
Just
except the
doing
cruise.
laps around the cruise ship.
Yeah, the cruise, the cruise only did it once. I told my wife, I'm 50 once. I'm gonna enjoy. Let's enjoy. Let's have a good time.
Right.
But I didn't gain no weight.
Yeah.
It did
Yeah.
not gain no weight when I came back from the cruise. Believe it
So
or not.
you said something just a second ago that I thought was important. You said when you hit your goal weight, before we started talking, you said that your goal weight was 200. How did you decide on that weight? And then when you got to it, how did you know that was really your stopping point?
Okay. So in the beginning, when I was 340, I changed my goal a couple times. Okay.
Okay.
My goal was the final goal was 200, correct. You're right. But in the beginning, I really wanted to be 240. Okay.
Okay.
Not knowing how I'm going to look. Right. And then I said, oh, let me do 220. I said, I want to
And
fit
what
into the.
caused you to change it? Like, so let's say you hit
I didn't want to
240.
be extra large. I
Okay.
wanted to be a
Yeah,
large.
got
Okay.
it.
Just stupidity thing in your head. I wear large. Everything's large now. And then I said, you know what? Let me do 200 because I want to run faster, in my mind at the time, and then I'm happy 200, 205, 208, 203. I weigh myself every day though. Coaches, trainers, everyone else tells you, oh, it's not good to do that. Weigh yourself only once a week. Nope, nope, nope. My body, if I eat bad, I can gain 6 pounds, no problem 1 week, 7 pounds,
Yeah, that
no
little
problem.
glycogen spike real quick, you can feel that.
Easy, easy,
Yep.
easy.
So you get all the way down to 200, you're feeling good. Um, had you run a marathon by the time you got to 200 pounds, or did you start doing marathons once you?
No. 2017 October 1 year, and then 2018, um, that whole year in 2018, I started to do 5K races. You know, um, then I did some more 5K races, and I did a half marathon. A couple times, and I really fell in love with doing races. Okay. Um, the one thing to tell you is on my first race, I'm from Parkland, Florida, Long Island. My kids were involved with the school shooting. And then 17 people died, and they were doing the first 5K race. I did one of those races.
Okay.
Okay,
And that
so
was the thing
this
that
was
got you.
this, yeah. So this was never my plan to do races. I thought about running, never thought about running races or half marathons or doing this or full marathon. That was never ever in my plan. It just you do a new goal, and without a goal, you need a plan, right? So I did the 5K race and raised some money, and then I thought, wow, this is cool. This is felt great, for a good cause, right? But I liked it. It challenged myself too, in health wise, you know. And then I was just keep on going and just keep on doing it. And then my friend asked me, because again, I wasn't planning to do a marathon. My friend calls me from New York, and she's like, "Would you like to run the New York City Marathon?" And without even a second thinking about it, I'm like, yes, not knowing what I'm going to do.
I like it.
And
So
I
what
and I
happens from when you say yes to the marathon? Did
I went to Google again and then trained. They got a plan, a marathon plan, one
Yep.
plan. Probably the worst thing I ever did. I probably should have hired a coach, running coach. And in 2019, I trained in Florida, and I almost quit a couple times because running 20 miles three times in the heat in August and July was brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal, 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 but it made me stronger. Um, and then when I completed the first marathon in New York City, one of the toughest marathons to run in, besides Boston and New York, there was always competition. Who's harder? But one day I'll do Boston. Um, it was a great, great, great feeling. You know, and then now I'm going on my fifth full marathon. I did an Ironman. Okay, so I'm going my sixth big race, but this is my fifth marathon, and I still love the challenge. It's still 26.2 miles. It's never easy. Every time I think I do more, I think it's going to get easier, but it's still tough. It's still brutal.
Never easy.
No,
So, at this point, is the running is it just primarily a hobby that you like to do? Do you focus on it for the maintenance period, like side of
no,
it?
it's to to for you got to remember this. People tell you there's a 70-30 rule. 70% is working out, 30% whatever eating, or vice versa, or
Yeah,
you hear this rules. Okay. I honestly think it's a 90-10. It's a 90% all what you eat, and it's
that's how
only
it's really felt for you.
10% is just working out. Okay. Working out, either running, biking, swimming, because I did all that.
Did you ever
Lifting
do any
weight.
strength training along the way as well, or
Oh,
is
Not in the beginning. I just started doing strength gym the past, going to be 2 years next month.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 years strength training because after a while when I was doing these marathon, I just felt my legs were like, sore or just like not. I didn't. Someone told me you lose muscle when you run. I heard that a few times. They got to do strength training. You should really go into the gym, lift weights. And then I never did it. I said, I lost my weight or I didn't need to do that. I don't
Yeah.
need to do that. I didn't listen to it. And I said, wow, almost 2 years later, I'm doing it. I'm like, like this morning, I ran 8 miles, no, 7 miles this morning. It was easy.
Yeah.
I don't feel nothing. I could run 10, 14, 15 miles. And the next day, I'm not even sore. That day, I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay. And that
Because the
came from
weight.
the strength training.
Yes, yes, yes. That's one mistake I probably should have done. I mean, in the beginning, I should probably went to the gym also.
Should have started strength training a little sooner.
When I first started. Yeah.
Okay. So as far as you brought up, you said you did an Ironman. How
Yes.
how did that come along? You just you were running marathons and then someone suggested it and you started.
Yeah. When that was like it was 2021, I did it. I did it without training. Because I was bored during COVID.
That probably
I did
wasn't
it.
the best idea.
Yeah, I did it. COVID. My friends like, no, you're ready. You're ready. You run marathons. You're fine. But when I did it, it was pretty cool. It was not too many people at the race.
Right.
So I think I came in third because there's not so many people. Um, but in my age group, because of COVID,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so a lot of people didn't go. But there was a lot of people, not a lot of people. But it was
Yeah.
fun. It was a different kind of challenge. I just don't want. I'm not big on the Ironman, like because I was bored and I did the road bike on the streets, and there was no cars,
Yeah.
so it's great. Then I started seeing more and more cars on the road, and it got more dangerous. I almost got hit a couple times. I said, you
Oh,
know
okay.
what? I'm
Running
done. I'm not doing
running's a
that.
little
I'm just
better
gonna
for you then.
run it.
Well, just
Yeah,
based off of safety.
yeah.
Okay, so you brought up something that I always like to talk about, and you said um, not going to the gym was one of the mistakes that you kind of made. Looking back, what were some of the things that you would have done differently?
Well, the gym,
The
you
gym,
know,
yeah, we talked about
big
that one.
one.
But if there's,
Yeah.
just anything else, going all the way back to when you first started, all the knowledge you know now, what were some of the things that you probably would
And
have
what
done
I
different?
know, like for race wise, hired a coach, running coach,
Yeah.
you know, learning that way.
And then with your
Because
like weight loss and stuff like that, what were some of the things you probably would have did different?
nothing, because it
Nothing.
worked. In 7 years,
That's fair.
it worked, and in 7 years later, over 7 years, it's still maintaining it off. Um, I wouldn't change it for a world. And I
Awesome.
and then there's a lot more to it just by eating, counting calories. Um, is that pattern I was telling you, how do you change your habits? And then
Yeah.
eventually, when you change your bad habits and you accept it's bad habits, then you got to stop being negative. The word I can't, or it's
Yeah.
too hard, or I don't know how you did it, that's the problem. You lost. Lost and you didn't even start. You lost and you didn't even start.
Got
And
it.
that's how I control my mind every day.
So along the you've brought this over and over and over again. Now it's I all started in the mind for you. Along the way, how did you start to develop that? Because I'm sure that was
I
something you had to
learned.
learn.
I told you, it didn't just happen like how to control my mind. Like, oh, learn how to control your mind. Right.
Yeah.
It took me a few months, and then maybe a year after a while, and then after maintaining one. Let's go by the maintaining one. The first year, no, the first year and a half, I was done, going all the way.
Yep.
After maintaining wise, okay, I realized that, oh wow, one night I went, and it happened a few times, and I said, well, no more, I can't do this no more. I can't do this. It happened like 3 or 4 times to me.
And what happened?
I went to bed negative.
Oh,
I went to bed saying, "Ah, I don't think I'm gonna run tomorrow. I think I'm gonna take off.
okay.
I think I'm gonna take go not go to the gym tomorrow. I feel good. I need a cheat day, or
Yeah.
then there's another cheat day, and there's another cheat day, and another cheat day. And then
Before
you're
you know
like,
it, a month's gone.
yeah, that never happened that long. But the most I ever did was 2 days. And then I couldn't eat bad. I mean, I was too full. I was like my stomach and everything's already my body knows when I ate that bad food, it told you to stop. My body's like, oh, what's going in your body?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. You feel tired for days. But when you go to bed negative and you say you're not going to do it, I woke up the next day and I didn't go. I didn't go because my body already started sleeping, saying I'm not going to do that tomorrow. And
Right.
you wake up negative. Okay,
So how do you, let's say we're going through your thought process, because I really want to see how you're doing this. I think is really valuable for the listeners is, let's say you're right about to go to bed and those negative thoughts start creeping in and you're saying, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a cheat day. How do you change that?
go in the bathroom, looking stuff in the mirror. That's what I do. And it's you versus you. No one's around. Close the door if you don't want no one to hear you. Okay. If you want no one, it's weird. I'm telling you. All right. So
Yeah.
you go in your head, you go in that bathroom, you look into yourself, and you look in your mirror and say, "No, I came this far. I'm I'm gonna run tomorrow, and I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow. I'm not eating that McDonald's crap. Okay, and I'm gonna just eat healthy and clean. There's no cheat days. I don't. And one thing I did learn in my journey I don't have cheat days, just letting you know. In my mind, those couple times I said cheat day meaning I'm not gonna run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that I have 3 cheat meals a week though. I spread my cheat meals.
Okay.
And it's very important. That's one of my keys how I lost my weight. Because I had my cheat meals during the week. Okay. I had a Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. That's how I spread it out.
Yeah, so let's talk about your cheat meals because I know this can be something that can work really well for some people and can kind of be a trap for other people.
True.
How did you keep your cheat meals to be positive and not overdo it?
Because when I had my cheat meals, when I went to a place, I ordered, let's say, a chicken parmesan,
Yeah,
with pasta. And running is good for pasta because we run a lot, right?
right. Get
Pasta's
the
good
extra
for us.
carbs and
So my cheat meal will have that, and then the garlic knots, or then you have an appetizer, and you might dessert, right?
yep.
But I couldn't finish it. So even with my cheat meals, I couldn't finish it. I ate half of it, and the other half went back home. I gave it to my kids, or because I don't eat leftovers. My kids would eat it, you know. But that's my cheat meals, you know. Like certain meals I would eat out of the portion I don't eat, you know.
So it sounds like your cheat meal is more of, maybe spicing up the variety, but you were still really good about listening to your body and
Yeah, once you lose that weight and once you maintain it, like your body's used to certain things,
yeah,
you can't finish certain meals. Your stomach shrinks. You're training your stomach. You're training your mind. It's all training. Um, so it just and it's so easy to say, oh, you know, it's positive, but I'm telling you, I didn't realize how many negative people are out there.
right.
There's a lot of negative people. Okay, there's a lot of doubters. You know, I see it on social media when people privately message me. I'm like, that's your problem right there. You
Yeah,
saying to yourself, I can't, or it's hard. I was you. I used to say that. I was in
right.
your circle. You know,
Something I've noticed too, as I've seen people go through these transformations or I've gone through similar things, is sometimes navigating those negative people can be really difficult. So how did you get any negative pushback from friends or family and how did you navigate?
I saw a lot of negatives on social media if I posted something that I accomplished something, a marathon or a run, or did my new PR, something I did in running wise or this wise. There will always be a negative person out there or talk about that. I'll feed that negative and put it into my run.
Okay.
Okay. I feed off negative. Okay. I embrace it. I love it. They always say, love your enemies, keep them closer, right?
Yeah.
But negative is fine. There's always doubters out there, or they say, "Oh, good luck maintaining the weight off." You know, good luck. I hated that when people just say that to me. Good luck maintaining it off. I know it's hard. Good luck. I hated that. To this day, I still hate it
And how did you turn
because
that into motivation? Like, right, when you hear those people who
I,
are
I,
trying to
yeah,
gouge
I
you,
just,
how do you turn that into,
there'll be people on social media and people behind my back talked, and it came back to me because I have a small circle. I know a lot of people,
right,
and people that they told thinking they're not going to tell me, and I couldn't believe what people said. People didn't believe I lost the weight. People said I did surgery. People said I did made pills. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, well, and in the beginning I thought I was mad. I told my wife the first time that happened to me, some, they thought I was out of surgery. And then at the end, my wife was like, really? You did all yourself? That's great. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to take that as a compliment. I said, and that's how I did it. I took it as a compliment because I never forget when I went to open house, and work wise, and there was all the spread food. I cater it because the realtor wanted all these kind of foods. And the title company. I said, oh, we'll get it all together. We'll split the cost. We'll get everything in. So I got all the food displayed, and this other realtor came in. It was like a bunch of people, and it was a busy open house. And this realtor, you know, said in front of everybody, like 10 people. So my husband don't believe that you lost all that weight. I looked at her. I said, "What do you mean?" I'm looking down. I did. It looks like I
Yeah.
lost it. What are you talking about? Nah, he knows he definitely did surgery in front of everyone. I said, "Well, tell your husband, okay, even if you did surgery, you know it's hard to run 26 miles, right?" I
Yeah.
said, and I'm like, "Tell your husband thank you." She was like, I switched it.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean thank you? Oh, I didn't do surgery. I did everything by myself. No training or nothing. I'm proud of it. With no training, no coach. I'm proud of because
Yeah.
I had coaches before and trainings before. Not one of them told me how to control my mind. They just gave me what to eat, what you do, and this is the plan. That's it. That's it. I go
And
to
then they
Weight
all fell
Watchers to do
short.
that. I go to Weight Watchers to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I'm losing the weight, probably 2 years ago, someone told me when I was running, "Oh, you remind me of like David Goggins." I'm like, "Who's he?" He goes, "You didn't know David Goggins?" I'm like, "No, who is he?" She goes, "I'll send you a text. Look at him. He runs, he goes, does these crazy things. He lost weight. He was like 200 and something, almost 300 pounds, he
Yeah,
said.
you
And he lost
echo a lot of his philosophy, it sounds like, if you're
right.
familiar with it.
Certain things. Because a couple of people came up to me when I do like things, certain things, oh, you should be a coach, or because I get people motivated sometimes. And I'm a little calm right now, but when I'm in the
I get you.
workout,
Yeah, yeah.
I help people. Hey, listen, you got this. Come on, let's go.
Yep.
Keep pushing, keep more reps. Let's do this extra slide. Let's run this hill. Let's go. Let's have fun. Challenge. Let's challenge ourselves. And they've gone at the same thing, like the mind and things in your head, and it's 100% true. He's 100% right. Okay, and I went all through that in your mind because as runners, and you speak to any runner, any Ironman person, every marathon runner, when you're by yourself running and you're in your double digits and the mind comes in, it's quiet sometimes. Especially Miami, second half Miami, it's quiet. So I did it a couple times. Now when we're in Miami, that mile 15 to 26, no one's out there,
That's true.
and you gotta like control that. Say, I got this, and it's all mind power. But no one ever told me how to do that. No one. I
And
just
that
did
that
it.
was really the missing piece for you, was actually fixing the mentality.
Yeah, that was the missing piece, and I felt like everything else together, like work wise, I worked better. I work under pressure. My stress levels down. Nothing bothers me in work like it used to be before. Um, it's just like you get that pressure,
Yeah. Yep.
and just like
Just that
when
impending doom feeling, like you
I used
just
to
feel like
blame, and
something's
I used to
wrong.
blame, and I would blame people, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? What's the difference of health wise? I used to blame people too. I fired you because you didn't tell me what to do. This and that, pointed fingers. Because you know what? I was going to do this on my own, you know. And to this day, I last night I was tired, you know. Um, I was watching the election yesterday, and then not the, the
Yeah. I,
yeah,
the
yeah.
we know
So
what we're talking
yeah,
about.
I was tired. I went to bed around 11 o'clock, 11:30. I was like, oh my God, I'm tired, And my wife's like, you gonna run tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna run 5:30 in the morning. I'm gonna run late. I'm running 7:30. I need my body. I need my sleep.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. Sleep
Yeah. I'd love to talk a little bit about sleep.
is the most important part of your journey, is sleep.
So how
If you
did your
sleep,
sleep change from
okay,
when you were
perfect
30,
question.
40 to now?
Perfect question. Sleeping. If you don't have enough sleep and you only sleep 4 hours or 5 hours and you work out, that workout's gonna suck.
Right.
It's not going to be good. Your body's drained. You need your body charged. Okay. So when you work out like that, when you go, it's not really a good workout because you don't put 110% effort. Okay. So instead of me going to bed, I used to go to bed 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, all the time, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock, watch shows and go to bed, you know. Then wake up like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and didn't have really good sleep, right? Because I used to eat bad and you don't sleep well sometimes, right? That
Yeah.
happens, you know. So I trained my body. I said, you know what? Let me try to go to bed 10 o'clock, wake up at 5, you know. Then I changed it up. If I had to run longer weekends, I go to bed 9 o'clock, 9:30, because I have to wake up 4 in the morning to have breakfast, warm up, and get ready to run. You know, but it takes time. You got to control your time. Every time schedule, everybody's different. One of my friends, he runs marathons, and he wasn't overweight his whole life. He probably lost like 20, 30 pounds. That's it.
Yeah.
But this guy works every day in the city in New York. Okay. He's got to be at his job early at 5 in the morning. No, 5:30 in the morning. Okay.
Right.
Con Edison. The guy runs at 3:30 in the morning before his work because after he comes back at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, he's got a family, he's got to do stuff, he's got to work, he's got to eat dinner. He don't have time. But he
Right.
ran a marathon, and I said, "See, because you thought in your mind and you did a schedule. Okay, with you, anyone can have a goal. You can
What
do a
have,
goal
what have
right
you
now.
found really helps you set your schedules? That's something I've seen a
I,
lot of people struggle with. How do you set it where you can be consistent and
I was
still
always
change it
like
around?
I always loved the calendar for my work wise. I put everything in the calendar.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever I put it down, that's the date that I'm doing. I'm committed to that. Okay. So I did that with the working out, the schedule, because every day's gonna be a little different. Every day's gonna be different time. Because I got kids, I gotta take my son to school or, you
Right.
know, I gotta take him to work on a weekend, so I gotta run a little earlier than that day, every day's different, So I just try to change my schedule. Everyone, I'm not gonna say everyone's going to be in a 6 a.m. club or 5 a.m. club, you know.
Yeah.
But I know people out there who are in a 3 a.m. club or 4 a.m. club. And if
Just
that
whatever
doesn't
works,
work,
right?
if that doesn't work, then do it at night. If you want to work out at night, it might be better for you. No. Me, I can't work out at night. I don't like it. I like it in the morning. I like earlier. Your mind works is clear, no, less cars in the street, and you go.
Perfect. And so we talked about sleep. You said sleep quality improved, stress went down. What were some of the other health benefits that you've seen? Did you see, blood work get better, blood pressure, things like that?
So I went to the doctor. I do physical every year, and
Yeah.
my numbers are flying colors. When blood pressure, no diabetes or nothing, it's always perfect every year. I got to do it again in June, but every year when I do it, it's great levels. My heart rate, my resting heart rate is a 48. Okay,
Oh,
so that's
really
considered
good.
athletic. Okay, um, so that stuff so far, God, thank God, I'm okay. But you always, as runners, they always say you gotta be careful because diabetes can come in as runners. Supposedly, they say sometimes the sugar, too much
Yeah,
sugar.
just the higher carb thing you can be
Yeah.
careful about. Usually it's
So you
not.
just got to, so you try to eat like the good carbs. You
Yep.
know, there's and but or certain things you watch. You know, but health wise, I mean, I just feel great. Energy wise, sleeping better. Um, feeling good. Certain clothes, I can get a large.
Yeah.
Anywhere I go now, any store I can go, I can get a T-shirt now for a large. I used to be double, triple X.
Yeah.
You know, um, or certain stores I couldn't shop. I didn't realize it was annoying actually. You know,
Right. Right.
but now I could get cool clothes. You know, that was cool. That
Yeah.
was cool.
So looking forward, I know you said one of the first things that kind of inspired you is you said there was the guy in your clubhouse gym who was 70. What are you doing to lay the foundation to make sure you just keep going? Um,
All right, so I don't believe in motivation. I believe in discipline. So before anything, I try to read at least an hour a day, um, and that helps me. Okay, meaning wise, people what they did, or follow other people's journeys, or just like I guess you call that a little motivation, but it comes and goes. But I try to look into a couple of little things like that, or have like positive feed on social media, and what's on whatever my thread is some a lot of positive stuff, you
Right.
know. So I try to follow that, most of that stuff instead of negative stuff.
So you're just going to kind of double down on that positive mentality, make sure
Yes,
everything keeps
yes,
moving.
and then when I lost the weight without running. Let's
Yeah.
remember that. Okay. And second, I got hurt a couple times. And those I was out running for like 8 to 12 weeks sometimes
Yeah.
from
How did you
injuries.
deal with those injuries? What were they?
There were calf injuries, okay. My hamstring injury, you know, double hamstring, hammy. And that was because not working out in the gym is good. This is before. Now the gym,
Right.
almost 2 years, injury free. Okay. Because before that, that's when I said, okay, I need to go to the gym, you know. But when I was out of commission, not running for 2, 3 months, I didn't gain any weight at all. At all, not even a pound. I actually lost weight. I actually lost weight.
And what do you think was the key to that? How were you able to?
Eating my habits or my everyday consistency, everyday what I'm doing, eating wise, that's how I still maintain the weight off. Even when people want to go to cruises, my wife's like, I didn't gain no weight. And we ate like monsters, all of us. I'm like, yeah, I gained 2 or 3 pounds. But I said, don't worry about that. I said, you're gonna lose that in 2 seconds in 2 days. I said, it's
Yeah.
gonna just come off. That's just the weight in you. Some people gain 10 pounds, 8 pounds in cruises, you know.
And you're not tracking though, you're just doing it all intuitive, right? At this point, do you
What
still track your calories and stuff, or are you just doing it all
I
just
know by heart most of the foods.
right?
Banana is 110 calories. A slice of pizza could be 250 to 400 calories. I
You
mean,
just have it all memorized.
yeah, bagel. You want a bagel? Bagel's okay. Just scoop out the bagel. Do a healthier butter. You know,
Yeah.
um, almond butter. There's certain things you could do and food wise. Now, listen, if you want cream cheese, that's okay. When I was in New York, I had cream cheese bagel. That's it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill you.
And so it sounds like you, at a certain point, you made that transition from tracking to you kind of just knew, and then also it sounds like you listened to a lot of just your body more, like you
Mhm.
can tell. When did you make that shift, and how were you able to do that? Because that's a big failing point for I think a lot of people is they start out tracking, they don't learn how to listen to their body, they don't kind of get into the right place, and then they stop tracking and they just go back to eating whatever they want. So how did you make that swift shift smoothly and been able to maintain that?
Consistency and everyday doing habits. I've been doing 7 years, and I see, um, right now, it's I'm already up like 1,100 calories what I ate so far today. I track what I eat, okay, every day.
Yeah.
Certain things I know already. What I know, I'm going to be counting. I know it's going to be. Oh, I'm going to have this is going to be like 2,500 calories today. This is going to be 2,000 calories today. 1,800. It's going to be 2,800. I already know the
You
calories
just kind
because
of
I
track it in your head, you about know. And
right. I mean, if you drink, I forgot the number it was, but if you drink a can of soda a day for 30 days, I think it's crazy numbers. I think it's like 40 grams of sugar. I don't know. It's
it's a
a
lot.
number.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a lot, but it's like certain things, like certain foods. Now, listen, everybody's different when it comes to foods. Certain foods you could gain, and certain foods you could lose weight. I don't know if you know that. So the more steak I eat, protein, steak, I lose weight. It burns fat. Okay.
You just focus more on like the higher protein stuff. That's one of the things that helps.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'll just burn fat that way, you know. And I can see certain foods if I eat bad, certain if I don't have my protein in or certain things. So protein's so important for runners and working out in the gym, just regardless, just it's important to lose weight. Increase your protein and cut your carbs in half. Drink water, you got it.
That was
Okay.
kind of your what you did, and that worked really well for you.
Double your protein, cut the carbs in half, drink your water, watch your calories, work out 1 hour a day. Okay.
And that
Walking, running, whatever you can do. And if you don't feel tired or you're not sore, increase it.
okay. So that's
Increase it.
actually a good thing to kind of talk about. Is so when you're planning your exercise intensity, you're basing that off of basically your recovery, right? How it's making you
Right,
feel the next day.
right.
Um, you going kind of back to the injury. Sorry, I jumped topics a little bit there, but did you were you experiencing a lot of joint pain and stuff when you were bigger, and then it went away once you got smaller? Did it come in with the running? How did that?
All right, so there's other. Let's go back to the negative stuff. When people say running, to this day, people tell me running's bad for your knees, bad for your back, bad for your hip. Okay, I hear
Yep.
that all the time. Hear that all the time. Oh, it's bad for you. You should not run. Come to the gym. We'll train you. We'll do something different. Okay,
Right.
but I love to run. It's my hobby. I love it. I love the challenge. Okay,
Right.
but when I was overweight, my knees was bad. I always had lower back problems, and my knees, my lower back, all the time was problems. Oh, my knees. Oh, now nothing. 7 years, over 7 years, knees, lower back gone. Not one pain. Not one.
Just getting
Not
rid of the
one.
weight and getting healthier and moving more.
Weight's off. It's simple math.
Yeah. 140 pounds, a
Lose
lot
the
to carry
weight, no
around.
pain. Lose the weight, no pain. Pain is good when you sweat. Pain, when you sweat a lot, pain is good. Okay. But what my different kind of pain was my knees, my lower back. That went away. That's gone.
Yeah.
That's gone. And
Do
I
you ever
run a lot.
just do you ever just get kind of that shell shock moment when you're at the gym and you pick up something that weighs 140 pounds and you realize like I used to weigh this much?
Funny you say that. I did the other day a video walking with 140 pounds. Deadlift. They call it deadlift walking. I don't know
Like a
what
farmer carry?
that's what they call it. That's what the gym guys call it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a rookie still. I'm not even 2 years in the gym. So a lot of machines I don't even understand. Okay.
Yep.
They just tell me I'm trying to grasp it and learn. Okay.
Yep.
I have a trainer who do that. That's why I hired you. You tell me what machine to do.
Yep.
I'm not here to open the gym and be an expert on it. But I do know about it. And I used to, before the gym, when I started, every time I walked on the treadmill, walking. And when I lost my weight,
Yeah.
I walked around with weight to remind myself every month, oh my God, this I'm used to weigh. And the other day I went and my hands were bad and blood from
Right.
carrying, and like, it's just a reminder. And think about that weight I was walking, that was all over my heart, bad,
Yeah.
you know, and it was killing me slow, it was killing me slow. Um, so that's a reminder for me, of how much I used to weigh. And I do it every month. Every
That's
month I
great.
walk around. Yeah.
Just walk
You
around
should
with that weight that's gone.
think about it. So any goal you speak to, anybody, any listeners out there, if you want to lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds or 75 pounds, walk around with dumbbells or whatever, deadlift, whatever it's in your gym, local. Walk around with it for 2 minutes. I dare you. If it's 100 pounds, walk for 2 minutes, and then you see how heavy that is.
And then you'll know how much better that's gonna feel when it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And the knees and the back problems gone. Happened to me. Happened to me. It's all gone. I probably could have got surgery. The doctors said you needed it, but they're in for the money, right? They're not in for telling you the easy way out. I'll lose weight, then you'd be
Right.
fine.
And so you actually they told you needed surgery, you lost all the weight, and everything's been fine ever since.
Yes, yeah, because I always had problems.
That's
Always had
great.
problems.
That's
Now
awesome.
it's gone. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. Now I feel better. Um, and it just keeps me going. It just keeps me going. I just love it. And now listen, if I don't like, biking is fun, rowing is fun, gym is good. I mean, there's a lot of other things that people might not just hate running. Or some people just can't run because something's wrong, right? Or they can't. There's some physical
Yeah.
they can't run. So walk. Okay, if you can't walk on your feet, then ride a bike. Can't do that, then swim.
Just
Okay,
find something, right?
row. Row is good. Okay, gym weights, do something. There's something there you can do in working out. Try to burn whatever. Try to burn 500 calories or 1,000 calories every time you work out. You know, every mile that you walk, you burn about 100 calories every mile
Right.
walking.
Yep.
So if you want to walk an hour, that's going to be 3 miles. If you want to walk a little more, 10K, walk a little longer, you have time, go. And you know what? Walk on the treadmill, um, and you can look on your phone and just like, read or work or do something, for different to do something or listen to music or listen to podcasts you know, or listen to whatever, just keep it going, to keep the time frame going.
Yeah. No, I really love it. I think that's a big part, is just having to find something that you can actually make work with the time that you have and then committing to it. But
right.
Caesar,
But
thank you so much
remember,
for, what was that? Please go.
but remember, I didn't lose the weight from running marathons. It's all 90% what you eat.
Right.
So
Yeah, no, that's yeah, you really gotta, I think you definitely have to work at it from both directions. If you're gonna lose weight, you have to figure out, you address your eating habits, your exercise habits. Weight affects every part of your life, and so to change it, you have to change
right,
your entire life. But
right. Yeah.
no, thank you so much for your time. I've learned a ton from you. This was awesome. I think we can kind of wrap it up there. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we end?
Whoever wants to start working out, number one, if you watch this whole long video, write down what you eat before you start. Write down all the calories what you eat before you start. Write it down and don't cheat if you're watching. Write
You'll want
everything
to,
down
right? You'll want to cheat.
and don't say the word I can't and don't say the word it's hard. I hate those words. I hate not a nice word to say, right? But don't say I can't or it's too hard.
Right.
Control that mind.
Control your mind. I think that's really been the key for you. That's been my big takeaway is if you can control the mind, everything else will kind of follow. But
100%.
thank you again so much for coming on, and hopefully all of our listeners enjoyed it, and we'll just end it there.
All right, you got it.